we need transition to a low carbon economy. We absolutely do. But we can't do it. We can't do it overnight. And I'm a realist on this. There are a lot of people who have lost jobs in Alberta. I'm not saying that means, that we destroy our planet, but I think we need to be thoughtful about how we move forward.
How do we avoid greenwash projects? How do we avoid the idea that we're just doing this to, just make ourselves feel good, essentially?
Well, I'm not sure that anyone brings in a carbon levy in Alberta, David, in order to make themselves feel good.
Touche there. But would a pipeline, is there any conditions under which you could see you saying, that's okay, Kinder Morgan can put more tankers through the Port of Vancouver? Does that work in any scenario?
None, and we've been very clear about that. Not just a government, a unanimous vote of council.
Right, so don't make the
it's not an ideological position. We spent 2 years doing the research on a variety of fronts. We had 13 areas that we did the research on, one of which was rejected by the NEB, which was the climate-causing impacts of burning liquid tar. In addition to other concerns we had about safety in water, about hazardous spills, about the impact on our economy, both in the event of a spill, but just our brand as a city. We did a brand valuation as part of our submission to the NEB National Energy Board process. Our brand is worth $31.5 billion as a city, the city of Vancouver. It's largely based on clean and green. Just having a major oil port there, because it's not a doubling. The pipeline is twinned. The new pipeline would have a 7-fold capacity increase over what's there. We would be one of the largest oil ports on the planet. That damage that it would do to our brand, even without a spill, is immense. A spill would pretty much wipe out the brand of the city of Vancouver. So way too much risk, no benefit on a planet that is dying because we're burning fossil fuels. So the answer seems fairly clear. Let's put our energy into a debate about renewable energy.
Okay.
Yeah. I totally get you. Like, the idea there would ever be any kind of spill, outside of, in the waters outside of Vancouver is petrifying. So that's why you need to look at that, and it may be that the outcome is you absolutely can't do it.
There's no question that we are moving towards a carbon-constrained future, but the reason why I highlighted the economic challenges in Alberta right now is that a transition that is not thoughtful and an approach in the Canadian economy is not thoughtful will take the current social dislocation and inequality and people losing their jobs en masse and collapse of communities we are seeing in Alberta right now and make it worse, and that is not the way that we are going to proceed. So it's really, really, really important for Canadians to appreciate what we have in Alberta, which is we have one commodity, one price, one market. And that is what has led us to this place where we have now lost $10 billion of our revenue, and we are having a hard time ensuring that we don't have really, really big social problems as a result of this. And so we need to understand the human element. Albertans and workers are part of your Canadian family, and they deserve your support.
In some ways I'm preaching to the converted here. Everyone here believes that climate change is a massive problem. We've got to do something right now. There's a lot of people that aren't there, that are a little bit there, who want to see action. But if what we end up doing has a huge, immediate, dislocating effect on the economy where tons of people lose jobs, I'm losing everyone. I'm losing them. And every economy is different. And we need to be working with labor. We need to be working with faith groups. We need to be working with municipalities. We need to be working with provincial governments. We need to be working with Canadians to find thoughtful solutions with difficult choices, but getting everyone to feel together so it's not just people in this room, so that it's everyone working towards lowering our emissions. And I will say, though that is not an excuse. That is not saying that we aren't going to take tough measures. But this is about doing this in a thoughtful way, working with the different parties involved.
At some point, I wonder, would your government be prepared to say, let's take this majority out for a spin? You've seen the polls. Your Prime Minister is tremendously popular. Just do it. You have the numbers in Parliament. Why not just do it?
Look, so as I've said, at the end of the day, we need to meet our international commitments, and we are going to meet our international commitments. But we are working with the provinces and territories and the municipalities because we want everyone to be there with us, and we need to understand what will the impact be of certain things. So I hear from the northern communities, from the territories, you bring in a carbon price, we can't afford our food. That's an important message. So we need to be thoughtful. You can't just go and do things and assume the federal government knows best. And that's actually been a really good way to split up our country. So I don't want this to be a national unity crisis. I get nervous about the way the conversation sometimes goes, that it's East versus West, it's different groups. I don't think that that's a positive way forward. That doesn't mean at the end of the day that we're a regulator. There are measures we absolutely can take, but I would like to go through the proper process and have the conversation and then figure out what is the best way forward.